Hey everybody, welcome on into the Delmarva Sports Insider, the only live and local show dedicated to giving you all local sports. I'm Sports Director Brandon Bosser.
What's up, it's your Philly Sports Anchor Devin J. Martin. Welcome into the show. We've got a lot to get in tonight, Brandon. We're basically done with football, so now we got to talk about basketball.
Yep, we're talking about basketball tonight. We had a stellar matchup tonight between Decatur and Bennett. We're going to get to our inaugural Bayside basketball draft in just a few minutes, but first, let's talk about this crazy game over in Salisbury tonight.
Yeah.
Decatur coming over to play Bennett. These are probably the top two teams in the Bayside.
Yeah, and the gym in the Shipyard definitely looked like it. There was a packed crowd, not an empty seat at all.
Highly anticipated game.
A bunch of teams, I was told, from a bunch of kids and players from other teams coming to Salisbury to see Bennett and Decatur go at it. I've never heard anything like it.
It was the show to be at in town tonight.
Absolutely. So who would walk away with the win? Let's get to those highlights right now. Sakai Smolin and the Clippers taking on the Decatur Seahawks. You're going to see those highlights on the screen.
Let's see those highlights coming up. But until those highlights come up, here we go.
Yeah, there we go. Two of the best the Bayside South have to offer. Bennett getting at it early. Shot is no good right there. Good defense. Jace Hudson gets the rebound and takes it coast to coast and lays it in past Tribe-Wise and Bryson Coleman. Easy deuce for him, but he isn't done just yet. This time he blocks David Chandler at the rim. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to take it coast to coast. I thought he was going to dunk it, but no, he laid it in. But, 2 points is 2 points.
That's a primetime player.
Right there, Decatur, though, they get back into the action right there. Go look at the nice pass from Kareem Bolden to Bryson Coleman. They already have synergy playing on the football field together, winning a state title. Now let's see if they can do it on the basketball court. Seahawks trying to stay out in front. Has there been a dunk in this game? There has been.
There
now.
Go.
Kareem Bolden slams it in with the two-hand slam. Bennett, though, they're still in this game. Loose ball on the court. Sakai Smolin fights it, gets through the contact, and he takes it all the way, plus the foul, and one for Bennett.
And Bennett would go into half down 16, but they would battle back in the third. Smolin pulling up, knocking down from mid-range. He's letting Tribe-Wise hear about it too. In the end, though, Decatur would hold on and survive the comeback attempt from the Clippers. Seahawks moving to 2-0 on the young season. Final score 65-55.
I've only had these kids in the gym for 4 days. 4 practice due to them winning a state championship in football. So, a lot of the teams got started in November. We didn't get started with, with our whole team until 4 days ago. So this was a huge win to come in this gym. Bobby Brown, great coach. I know he's going to have his kids ready. So it's very huge for us.
That's definitely a big win.
I got to tell you,
Decatur.
that blazer, very nice. I got to get one like that.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean, he knew that all the eyes were going to be on his team today. Definitely the biggest game of the year so far. And, I mean, those are the two top teams. We've talked about it all year, Bennett and Decatur, and they definitely put on a show earlier tonight at the Shipyard.
That's right. So let's go ahead and give you who we think are our personal top 5 power rankings to start the season. First, we're going to start with mine. Top 5, I have Decatur, followed by Bennett. Then we have Cambridge and Snow Hill. Those two teams playing earlier this week as well. Cambridge coming out with the victory. I have Queen Anne's at number 5. But really, I think we have a solid top 4 in the Bayside. The number 5 team up for grabs at this point right now. Devin, who you got?
It's basically the same thing as yours, except number 5 is going to be a little bit different. Obviously, we got it bottom to top. So number 1's at the bottom. You see that's Decatur. Number 2 is Bennett. Number 3 is Cambridge. They're looking really good in the 1A so far this year. Definitely, they've had a lot of success over the past couple years, but this might be the year they go even further beyond in the 1A. And then number 4, Snow Hill, who lost to CSD earlier in the week. Number 5, I got Parkside on the screen. They're really good, but another team to look out for, also Pocomoke. They're 2-0 on the year, but I like what the Parkside Rams are cooking up this year so far out there in Salisbury.
And one team you don't see on that list, Y High.
Y
High. 5-time defending Bayside champions.
It's a new year. It's a new season.
It sure is. And you know what? We'll see if the Tribe can prove us wrong this year.
Yeah, they're 2-0, looking pretty good, but their competition hasn't been the best so far. Ken Island, not the same this year. And obviously they took down Mardella, but they definitely have some athletes that can really play out there for the home of the Tribe.
Now, we teased this earlier. It's time for some history. It's time for our inaugural 47 ABC Sports Bayside basketball draft. Devin and I are going to pick teams of 6 players each. We'll post them online. You let us know what you think. A fan vote as well. Who you think the better squad's going to be. Now, Devin, you won the coin flip earlier today in the sports office. Tails never fails, right?
Yeah, that is true. So I got the first overall pick. Remember, these picks is not 1-1-1. What did you call it?
With a snake draft.
A snake
so
draft.
You get 1, I get 2, he gets 2.
Right.
We're
So,
go like that.
a lot of it is strategy involved, and so I wasn't prepared for the snake draft format of the pick. I thought we were going to go 1-1-1. So he has a little bit more size on my team. I'll say that.
All right, let's see who you're going number 1.
So obviously we got a pool of players to choose from, especially players who have already made a name for themselves. You actually saw one of them on your screen earlier. I had the first pick after much deliberation. I had a couple options I want to go with. Either it was like, Bryson Coleman, David Chandler, but I was like, you know what? I'm going with Bennett, Jace Hudson. He's definitely the guard to watch out for in the Bayside South and the entire Bayside as a whole. He might be the best guard on Delmarva this year. He led the Clippers to back-to-back playoff appearances, obviously as a freshman. He's a really crafty player who can get any shot he wants, but now it's time for him to step up and be a leader, and I think he's going to be able to do that this year as the lead guard for the Bennett Clippers.
Great pick right there at number 1. Now I'm going to start off with some size right here. I need some guys in my front court, and let's see who we go with. Decatur's Bryson Coleman here with my first
I knew if I was going to get Jace, I knew you were going to get Bryson Coleman. I knew it, but I was like, you know what?
Here's the thing about Coleman. 6'5", Vanderbilt commit, ton of athleticism. I'm getting the defending Bayside defensive player of the year in the South. He's the guy you want when you lay the foundation for an all-star team like this. He's got great defense. He can score the rock. He's a leader in the locker room. He knows how to win. I got Bryson number 1. And now for my second pick, 3rd overall, we're going to go size and defense once again here. We're going Cambridge for Kobe Enels, the 6'4" junior, first team All Bayside North last year while scoring 18 a game, grabbing 6 boards, swiping 3 steals a game as well. He and Bryson Coleman are going to be tough to beat, Devin.
So you went with size. Yep. I went with skill and speed. So I'm going to combat you, Bryson Coleman, and I'm going to get Tyler Ball from the Easy
This
Act.
is a great pick.
Salisbury School's Bryson Tyler Ball, 5'9", uncommitted, but he does everything well. He is a bucket. He is a bucket. There's many games last year that he was putting up 30, 25, 30, 27, 24,
40 points
24, 40. I think he had a couple weeks in a different league that he was playing. He had 93 points or something like that, 92 points. So it might be the best bucket getter on Delmarva right now. So I had to get him. The next pick, I got Tribe Wise, a 6'4" wide receiver and power forward. He plays for Decatur. Obviously won a state championship with the Seahawks on the football team. But again, I had to combat some of your size with my size. 6'4", you got a couple 6'3", 6'5" kids. I got a 6'4" kid as well. Coach BJ said tonight that when Tribe is focused and dialing in, there's no one better than him down low.
I can't dispute that.
Look at that. Boom, right on his head.
I was there for that.
That's definitely the play of the year last year. He's a huge reason for the win tonight against the Clippers, so I had to add him to my team.
I can't knock that pick. That's who I wanted right there. Let's take his teammate, David Chandler. I need to start filling out the backcourt right here. David Chandler brings it all to the table. He's got great scoring. He's a facilitator, 6'2" guard, one of the taller guards in the Bayside Conference, who has faced a lot of great competition nationally as part of the Delmarva Aces. So we're going to take him as one of our guards. And then now let's go ahead and get David a backup mate right here. LaShawn Moody from Cambridge South Dorchester. This guy is a flat-out scorer with the basketball. He shot 55% inside the arc last year, and he was also first-teamer up north as well with Easton. He's moved over to Cambridge this year. He scores, grabs boards, passes, big on the defensive side with 4 steals per game. So, Devin,
you know what?
You got to answer that.
I did. You got a former Easton guard. I got a current Easton guard. Marshall Bailey, his teammate from last year, the sophomore guard, was putting up 17 points a game as a freshman. He might be the most.
Could be the player of the year in the North this year.
He's definitely the talent and the future of the Bayside North as long as he stays. He might be a future star in the Bayside. He's definitely the youngest player on either one of our teams. He had 30 points, 30-plus points in their blowout win over Kent Island earlier this year. So it looks like he's taken a massive step forward. So he's due for another huge season. Again, averaging 17 points per game as a 14-year-old last year.
Crazy.
It's extremely impressive on the varsity level, especially in the two-way. So we're going to see him take a step now that Moody is gone to Cambridge. And then finally, I need some shooting.
Yep.
I need some shooting. He's 6'2", Vincent Gilberto, Queen Anne shooter. And the Lions, they definitely loved his shot last year. He's always been a threat on the outside from the perimeter. He was on fire in their recent win against North Carolina. Fourth quarter was a takeover for him. 12 points in 1 minute. He's got that jump shot. He doesn't really get to the rim that much, but if you leave him wide open, you're gonna pay. And he hits a lot of threes.
He can be lethal.
Look at that. Look at that. Off the catch, nothing but net. So, I don't have the size that you have, but I definitely have the shooting that you don't have so far.
Well, you know what? Let's go with another big man. You don't have the size to match up on us? Well, you definitely are now. The center from Wharton, Kent County's Jaisir Valentine right here. Hey, Valentine's a 6'5" center. He doesn't get much love because he's all the way up in Kent County. But this young man averaged a double-double last year and was honorable mention in the North. I can see him taking that next step this year. So we have Coleman, we have Enels, we've got Valentine down low, all 6'4" or taller. So finally, we need one more guard to fill this thing out. We need a sixth man. You know what? We're going to go with Zakai Smullen right here. I cannot believe that he fell all the way down here to the 6th round. Smullen was on that first team for the Bayside South last year. Just saw him drop 23 the other night against Queen Anne's. Another junior for Bennett, along with Jace Hudson. He's great at scoring the basketball. He's going to get a lot of points for us off the bench. He's going to be that spark plug that this team needs.
So, Brandon, you basically took up everyone from the entire Bayside that's over the height of 6'3". So I was like, you know what? If I don't have the size to combat it, I'm just going to lean in with more guards and more scoring.
Hey,
so
this guy lives above the rim.
He does, and I think he could dunk on one of your big men right there. That's Kareem Bolden from Decatur, new to the Seahawks. Obviously, we know who he is if you've been paying attention to Seaford for the past couple years. One of the best point guards around, definitely the best hops in the entire Delmarva region.
Absolutely.
He's not selfish with the ball either, even though he could dunk it every single time he gets to the paint. Great court vision. He has a nice mid-range jumper. Obviously, he has the best bunnies in the Bayside and probably in the Henlopen as well since he left. And he's a great leader and great all-around player. So, yeah, that's my team. I've got a bunch of guards, one big man, and you got a whole bunch of big men and two guards.
All right, let's go ahead and round out this squad. Let's show you who we got here. I got Bryson Coleman at forward for Decatur. I've got Kobe Enels down low as well. David Chandler and LaShawn Moody at guard. We've got Jaisir Valentine as our center in the paint. And we've got Zakai Smullen as the sixth man.
And I got Jace Hudson from Bennett. I got Tyler Ball. I got Tribe Wise, Marshall Bailey, and Vincent Gilberto. I think we can match up a little bit. It just depends on if we can get rebounds. Yes. Obviously, our sixth man is Kareem Bolden. We got a lot of shooting. You have a lot of size. It just depends. It's a new age, just like in the NBA. Yeah. Shooting beats size for better and for worse.
It's like Tim Duncan Spurs against the
Steph Curry Warriors.
Warriors. That's what we're looking at here.
And I like to go with some shooting, some spacing out the floor as well. And I like to see that both of these guys can go two ways as well. Both of these teams can play a lot of defense, and both they can shoot and score as well. So I would love to see them match up in this hypothetical.
I think the critical part of this matchup is how are my guards going to stack up against Jace Hudson and Tyler Ball out there defensively?
Yeah. And then you also got Marshall Bailey there, also going to be putting up a good 30 points as well this year as well in a lot of games.
All right. So who do you think has the top roster of these two teams? Let us know. 47 ABC Sports, Facebook and Twitter pages. Formerly known as Twitter, now known as X. We'll have that up for you later tonight. Let us know and go ahead and vote on those polls. All right, that's it for the A block. We're calling our first time out. When we return, we are heading to the Henlopen. Lake Forest showing out today. Highlights coming up next on Delmarva Sports Insider.
Hey, it's Jace Hudson from Bennett, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.